Nexxlegacy.
It's in the house tonight on this sports edition. Your man Branded in the building tonight, and we definitely got a good show for you, ladies and gentlemen, and lovers of sports. We definitely are turned up, and I got my host Phille in the house tonight. And Phille, go ahead and break down the bio of the man we got on the line right now on Nexxlegacy Sports Radio.
All right, now check this out. We got former 49er cornerback Wright. All right, now he made an appearance on the show a good little while ago, but if you didn't tune in or you don't know who he is, I'm going to do your homework for you real quick. He attended the University of Missouri, second-round pick for the 49ers back in '81. If you haven't seen him play or seen highlights of him play, players like Darrell Reeves, Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, they all resemble the style that Wright played back in the day. He was one of the best corners to do it, two-time Pro Bowl pick in '84, '85, 4 championship rings from Super Bowl 16, 19, 23, and 24. He had the game-saving, not game-winning play, but game-saving play that set up the game-winning play for the 1981-82 NFC Championship game when he horse-collar tackled Drew Pearson to keep the Cowboys out of field goal range and set up one of the most memorable moments in NFL history, known as the catch, which was, you know what I mean? We're doing it real big tonight.
And we have Wright live in the house tonight, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I know you out there doing your thing and taking care of business, and I thank you for coming on to Nexxlegacy Sports Radio. Wright.
What's up, man? It's been a year, man. Y'all got to bring me on a little bit more often, man. Jesus Christ, y'all make me feel like Grandpapa.
Oh, shit.
And you know what, man? We definitely got to make sure we handle it. And I'm going to tell you this now before we actually get into something real heavy as far as in the sporting, in the football world. But, I mean, if there's a petition that we need to sign to be able to get you in the Hall of Fame, I think we need to go ahead and try to get that in there now. Because,
come on, man.
You know, stats is nothing.
That's overrated, man. Hey, you get if you got the numbers, then you deserve it. So.
Agreed. But you know what? But Wright, let me tell you this though. A lot of people don't know, or a lot of people, especially in the game, as far as how you cover. It's like, you know, you may not have like 1 million picks, but every single person, wide receiver and then some, will say, hey, you know what? I don't want Wright to cover me. That's how they used to say it though. You know what I mean?
Well, hey man, you know what? You guys got to. You know, refer back to all those other great guys. You know, when you could play the game, I could go up and mug a guy, or those guys before us. But you know, the guys in the the 60s and 70s could go up and mug a guy,
right?
Matter of fact, we're here at the 49er Foundation deal in Lake Tahoe this weekend, and Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson. That's when you guys talk about Ronnie. Champ Bailey and all them. Jimmy Johnson. You go back and pull up his career. He played 16 years, and that's when they could go rape the receiver. If I could have played back there in them days, or did we play like that, man? And I would love. Hey, I would. Hey, they wouldn't even have to have no bonding program out there.
There you go. Now for the people who are listening, what you're talking about back then, with the style that football's played now and how it's played back then, how is it different since you played?
Well, today's game, we were talking about it a little bit today on the alumni. I got Eric Davis up here. We were talking about it. Today's game, you have to play in the confinements of going through the face mask or put down, and that's putting that bead in the face gear. Now, you teach the defensive backs and the defensive players. you teach the defensive players that you can't play or tackle like we did back in the 80s. You have to teach another tackling and getting the ball out. Number one is when you see skilled guys and guys on the field, nobody wear pads below the waist.
Right.
All anything below body, hey, tear it up. Nobody got pads. Number one receiver, your number one running back. Hey, I'm gonna put that helmet right on. He ain't have no pads. I get you out the game. Got your guy coming in. We got a chance. So
right.
And that,
right.
Hey, you get that is legal football.
That's right. That's right. Let's get down right down to it then. I mean, because you kind of mentioned it too about the bounties and stuff. When you first heard about the Saints and everything that happened and that transpired, and the coach being gone a year, and the general manager being gone half the season, and more things to come when it comes to players, what was your first reaction when you heard about it?
No, I was shocked. I was shocked that they, suspended the coach for a year, and then the defense coordinator, he's suspended indefinitely. And that was the that was the stickler. But we never had any of that within our defensive scheme. But of course, what you do is you get knockdowns, you get no touchdowns thrown, you get interceptions, fumble forces and stuff like that. What our defensive guys gave us incentives. What we would get, we would get a dinner for the family. You get a briefcase or an engraved wallet with the score and all that stuff on it. But it's nowhere in place with a game where you got to take it out of career now. We used to always say, hey, look, if we get Dickerson out the game, we got an easy chance of beating the Rams. Okay, how you get him out the game? You just keep it fair. Hey, we just was trying to run through his gear, and like I said, today's football guys ain't. So, hey, it's not dirty. You just go tackle clean and just run through his lower body and try to tear it up. That's legal. But there's more missed tackles in the game than ever seen, because you got guys trying to make highlight film. I get the ball out. Hey, we turn it around and play offense. Number one is you have to teach the fundamental football. First guy in, wrap up, tackle, and put his headgear on the football. That's it. And then the other guys, if he's having a problem wrapping him up, the second guy come in and finish up and clean up. Third guy get the ball.
Now, with the exception to the rules, do you feel that even with the rules being like they are now in the NFL, do you feel that the referees sometimes are too quick to throw a flag? Do you feel that even though the rules are enforced, like sometimes instead of letting the referees just letting the players play football, they throw that flag too quick?
But you know what? I ain't no fan of the striped guys anyway. So
most definitely, I feel you on that.
Let them play, but you just lead a game and decide the referee, no matter what anybody says.
When it comes down to, because you mentioned, you was like, hey, any incentives you guys had back in the day had more to do with just like engraved briefcases, just dinners, just some of the typical normal stuff that I feel like a lot of people have. So when it comes to that overall thing with the Saints and the bounties and trying to take somebody out for a certain cash dollar amount, a lot of people out here is really kind of just geared to the fact that a lot of the Saints just wasn't truthful the first time around it was investigated, and the lies kind of continued. That's why the punishment was severe. So Roger Goodell, and your thoughts, because I know when you were playing, you had Pete Rozelle at one point in time, but your thoughts on Goodell as far as how he's handling just everything that's dedicated to trying to clean up the game.
Commissioner, he did see fit for what went on. Now, like you mentioned, he gave them a chance to fess up and to stop it.
Right.
Okay. So, hey, you pay the price. You get pay the piper. So that's what happened. So, hey, guess what? The Saints suffered. And then, if I was in the league.
Yeah. Wherever you were walking or wherever you were, just kind of like tilt yourself to the left or to the right. To the right.
I'm tilting to the left and the right. I know, I'm sorry.
A couple of quick ones because I know you have your foundation. And before we go, definitely make sure you you shout out the alumni thing and what you guys got going on in Tahoe. But Philly, go ahead and toss out a question, bro.
Yeah, man. With you speaking of, with you being up at the 49er alumni, basically what Brandon was just going to ask was going to be my next question. What's that all about? What's going on up there right now?
Well, this weekend, this is the 12th year that the 49er Foundations have their major fundraiser for their charity and their community, for their team. They raise probably about $500,000, $600,000. They give the money to the youth in the Bay Area, and they do a really good job. They have some of the current players, Olympians, and alumni people up here, and then they have the sponsors, and then they have the donors to raise money, auction, and whatever. It's just a good thing. They do it. They've been doing it for 12 years, so it's so worthwhile charity to get involved with. And, hey, look, and they have the one thing that draws people in. They have the wineries and the vintners of Northern California. So it's a good deal up there. Good time. Hey, it's just wine everywhere, but it's a good time. And then it's it's a good it's a good fundraiser, and so it's a good fun. It's a good vacation for 2 days.
There you go.
Man, I can imagine. Now, real quick before we let you go.
Aside from yourself, who else is in attendance? I know you mentioned who else is in there?
Well, you got Keena Turner, Guy McIntyre, J.J. Stokes. Who else is up there? Steve Bono. You got Delaney Walker. The coaches, last year's staff. You got Peggy Fleming and some of the Olympic types skaters, and then what they do is it's a ski event, so they invite some of the ex-Olympian skiers to ski lessons, snowboarding and all that stuff. So it's a good deal. You got Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Famer up here. It's just a good event.
Yeah, man, most definitely. It sounds definitely like a good event, man. I wish I could get a 2-day vacation like that. But would that be?
Now you guys are.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you right.
Yeah. It's back again.
Okay. Wherever you were like 2 minutes ago, you were perfect.
Just make sure you get every quarter or something, invite me on your radio show, man, because I'm going to do it for you guys, all right?
Oh yeah, man, most definitely.
All right, hey, man, tell me, you don't have to be a stranger. Man. You just kick me to a curve. I know you got this big costume coming up. Hey.
And you know what? I told Stevie to make sure that you link up and give my man a call, because I told him the other day, I was like, man, Wright, man, he's kind of thinking that he's a little left out right now.
Yeah, hey man, because Stevie on the personal, man. My boys got the Philly. My boys got. I talked to Steve the last time, the week of Philly. He got tickets to the game. After that, hope you don't
take
that
right?
Philly, but.
And he's one of those. And he's one of those real hardcore, diehard Philly fans, man. He love the Eagles to the death.
All right, brothers, I'm going back to dinner. You guys take care.
You do the same. Appreciate the call from a 4-time Super Bowl champion, and our apologies as well.
Nexxlegacy.